Alrighty. Welcome to the stream. And tonight we are going to continue our VGC climb. We are going to bring back the dirt team that we used on Friday, but we only used it once since I had to end the stream early. But we're going to use that as our team 1 this time around. That team, of course, was from OliviaSama, or at least she showcased it. And then team 2 is a team also from OliviaSama. I kind of pick on her teams a lot. And that one is entirely her design. One interesting thing that was a part of this team that she didn't really point out in her showcase of the team in the video that's in the description, is that it has a Sableye that has Encore and Disable, which seems to be making the rounds a little bit on team comps. And basically what you can do is you can Encore an enemy move, and then disable it and force them to struggle, which I think is kind of an interesting thing to do. Infuriating, to be sure, but kind of interesting. She didn't pair it with a Gothitelle to trap an enemy in. So I think maybe Sableye could come in maybe late game and maybe do some Encore Disable shenanigans. Perhaps, I don't know. She also said that she didn't bring the Sableye very often when she ran the team, so that could be important later. We'll figure it out. But we are going to start with our dirt team tonight. I also put together a third team of my own creation that is a sand team. But I'm not quite sure how I like the setup quite yet. Yeah, I'll explain this at some point, but I don't know. It's just something I slapped together for a Sandstorm team to try and really abuse Focus Sash users. But we'll see how it goes. I don't know. But let's go ahead and start with Team 1 here. All right. And of course, as always, the teams that I'm using specifically are in the description in the PokePaste. And then the teams that they're based on are also in there as well. Because I do make very minor tweaks here and there. Sometimes I reuse some of my shinies, so I don't really fine-tune the EV spreads if they're somewhat similar. And if the Terra type needs to change, I usually just go and find a new one, a new shiny Pokemon to bring in. Alright, so it looks like we've got a Sun team here. Perhaps what I've been seeing a lot lately too is Grochien with Growth on Wochien. So we might need to watch out for that. And then it looks like Kingambit just to fill a slot, and then maybe Sableye for support. But I think the core is probably going to be the bottom 4 that he has, the Chi-Yu, Fluttermane, Wochien, and Torkoal. Which kind of works out for us, too, because not a lot of them are going to want to take a super effective ground hit. But let's go in with... I'm going to go in with Kinglu and Gyarados. And Fluttermane for just in case of Sableye. I'll be interested to see if this person brings Sableye right up at the front, or if they might have Sableye in the back. Leading with Sableye and Kingambit. Alright. Not really what I wanted to do. But that's okay. I think I'm going to go ahead and Thunder Wave the King Gambit here. And then I'm going to taunt the Sableye, just kind of shut it down before it can set up too much. I'm going to Terra King Gambit, probably flying. Yeah. We see a Will-O-Wisp come out onto Gyarados, which honestly is okay with me. Gyarados is more bulky in this build than offensive. Okay, we got a taunt on Sableye. Sableye should be fairly well shut down here. And we got the paralysis on King Gambit. Excellent. I don't want Gyarados to go down too quickly, because if he does send out Torkoal, I want to be able to reset that sun. But I'm going to keep Gyarados out on the field for now, and I'm also going to throw a Thunder Wave at Sableye. Let's go ahead and go for a Throat Chop onto King Gambit just to get some damage onto it. Okay, so we aren't going to paralyze Sableye. I guess that taunt was enough to send it back. So it looks like we are going to get the paralysis on Wo-Chien. Not as much damage as I would have liked, but a good amount of damage. Okay. I am going to swap out Gyarados here, and I am going to go into... I don't want to go into Flutter Mane because I also don't want to eat an Iron Head immediately. So I think what I want to do... I'm going to go out into Orthworm. And I'm going to go in for a taunt on Wo-Chien just to keep it from doing any Leech Seed shenanigans. Alright, what was Wo-Chien going to do? Leech Seed. Alright. Okay, so we see another Iron Head. Typically here, what I would do is I would probably go for a Shed Tail and then swap out for something else. But I don't think I'm going to do that quite yet. I'm going to go for an Iron Defense here. Because I should be pretty safe. And we are going to go for another Throat Chop into King Gambit here. I'm surprised he did not switch out Wo-Chien. That is kind of surprising. Howling, okay. Don't want to Terra quite yet. Actually, yeah, I'm going to Terra, prevent maybe a fighting move coming out of King Gambit here, and we are going to go for a Body Press into Wo-Chien. And I am... Gonna go for a throat chop on Wo-Chien, just to see if the body press wouldn't be enough to knock it out. I don't think it's going to be. Wo-Chien does typically tend to be a little bit ridiculous on the tanky side, so... just put a little extra damage on it, if nothing else. Okay. Actually did a little bit less damage than I thought it was. I thought I was at least gonna get it in the red. We're probably gonna lose Ting Lu here. That's totally fine. But now we have no control over Sableye or Wo-Chien. I'm actually going to... whoops, I don't want to swap Orthworm. I want to swap Fluttermane for Gyarados. Reason being, I'm pretty sure he's going to Iron Head straight into Fluttermane, and Gyarados will just eat that right up. So not a lot lost there. I just want to preserve my Orthworm as long as possible, and I'm not too worried about Wo-Chien, it being paralyzed and typically very slow on him. He'll just protect. Never mind. I was going to explain that he's very slow and paralyzed, so he's going down this turn, but no, he's got protect. The downside, though, to swapping out my Gyarados is that I did give him another tick of Defiant, which, I guess, whatever. Gonna go in for the Body Press into Wo-Chien, and we are going to Waterfall into Kingambit. Okay, Wo-Chien goes back out. Let me see Sableye. Okay. Nothing from Gyarados. Okay. Well, got another full turn of paralysis. One thing I have noticed so far is that his team is very, very bulky. We just don't have quite enough damage quite yet to really do anything about his team, which is unfortunate. Okay, he goes for the taunt, which is totally fine because he taunted the wrong target. Now, Sableye is a little less quick on his feet. Okay, Gyarados goes down. Alright. Okay, I'm actually going to Heavy Slam into the Kingambit, and we are going to Dazzling Gleam into both of them. Okay, he has Quash, which not a lot of people carry. But we're probably going to see an Iron Head straight onto Fluttermane, and it's going to go straight down. So we don't win this one. We didn't shut down Kingambit soon enough. We were more worried with his setup more than anything else. And that Quash really kind of screwed us there. That Quash put Fluttermane back more than it should have. Okay, we get taunted, that's totally fine. Probably a crit, I think. Nope. Okay, that was just a good damage roll. There's just no way that we can do enough damage to King Gambit. Orthworm typically does have a very high natural defense, and I do have a little bit of investment in defense. Plus, I had the +2 to defense, and even then, that still wasn't really doing a whole lot. Or actually, I was doing heavy slam, not body press, so wouldn't have mattered. But anyway, a little too defensive for our team. We just don't quite have enough damage to really deal with a team that is hella bulky. And he also didn't really do anything that I was expecting. I was really expecting a Sun team and a Gro-Chan team, but didn't happen. So I played way too safely. I should have been way more aggressive on that team. All right. Oh boy, rain and wind if Kilowattrel is coming to the fight. And Chen Pao. Wondering what he's going to open with, though. What I'm thinking he might open with, though, is probably Palafin Kilowattrel, and Kilowattrel is probably going to do a Tailwind. He'll swap out Palafin for Pelipper and set up Wind and Rain in the same team, and then try and do a few shenanigans with that. So, I do want to bring Gyarados, but in the back, I think. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to bring Chen Pao. Actually, do I want to bring Chen Pao? No. I'm going to lead with Tinglu, Dragonite, and Gyarados in the back. The reason why I really want to bring Gyarados is to get the Intimidate drops on... He's got 3 physical threats on his team, and Gyarados being able to get the Intimidate drops and paralysis on them is going to be kind of big. Especially on Chen Pao. Okay, so Pelipper and Palafin. I'm actually going to swap out Tinglu for Gyarados here, just to avoid a super effective hit with a flip turn, which is what I'm kind of expecting. And we are actually going to... I should be safe to do a Dragon Dance. Trying to think of what they could answer with. I'm just going to go for it. Because he's going to have to... He's either going to make see Tinglu as kind of the threat here and want to get a super effective move off, or swap out Palafin. So I'm going to hope that he's greedy and wants to go in for as much damage on Tinglu. So Palafin just protects. Pelipper's probably just going to Tailwind here. Yep. Okay. I'm gonna go for the Thunder Wave on Palafin. He'll likely switch out this turn, but if we get the paralysis on Palafin, that's great. And if we get it on something else, it should be fine. He didn't have, well, he had Kilowattrel, so we might be missing that But we'll see. I'm not... Actually, yeah, I'm going to Terra here. And we're going to go for an extreme speed onto the Palafin spot. Okay, here comes Dragonite. So that Dragonite likely has a Lumberry, like a lot of Dragonites carry, and he's likely multi-scale. So we'll break the multi-scale with our extreme speed, which is totally fine. And we should get the paralysis on it if it's not carrying a Lumberry. Otherwise, we just eat its Lumberry, which I'm also a fan of. So we'll see what this Dragonite's got. Not Lumberry. Okay. I'm going to go for extreme speed here. Okay, and we get the paralysis on Dragonite. We are getting really lucky with these paralysis. It didn't really help us last game, but oh well, still here. Okay. I am gonna go ahead and swap out for Ting Lu. Well, yeah, I'm gonna swap out for Ting Lu. He's our safest swap in. And well, no, actually, I'm gonna swap out Gyarados. I'm gonna do a double swap here. This team really doesn't have a whole lot of protects, which for a bulky team I am kind of surprised for. You'd think that without the protects you'd be a little bit more offensive, but this team really doesn't have that, which is kind of interesting. But I could also just be playing this team just totally wrong. Out comes extreme speed. Kind of wish we had done that the other way around, but I wanted to avoid Fluttermane eating a Hurricane to the face. We are going to go for a Dazzling Gleam. And well, Ting Lu probably is not going to outspeed at all, so I'm not going to bother with the taunt right now, but we are going to go back out for Gyarados in the other slot. Okay, Gyarados goes for the extreme speed. That did quite a lot of damage. A lot more than I was expecting, to be honest. Probably going to see another Tailwind out of Pelipper, so it'll be fine. Okay, we see Palafin come back out. Palafin's going to be juiced. I am going to preserve Fluttermane a little bit here. Yeah, we're going to swap in Ting Lu to soak that hit. Ting Lu might actually die, but that's fine. It's a sacrifice I'm willing to make. And we are going to go for a Thunder Wave into Palafin. So he's got a choice. He's really got to like focus fire the Dragonite or the Gyarados to get rid of these Thunder Waves, or take a Thunder Wave to the face. Okay, who are we getting now? Probably Kilowattrel. Yep. Okay. So, Gyarados, you in danger, girl. Yep, okay. Okay, Palafin is now paralyzed. We are going to go out for Dragonite here. Dragonite's probably not going to survive the next turn, but we are going to Extreme Speed onto... he's got Tailwind up, so Kilowattrel's going to do Kilowattrel things. I'm going to get rid of Palafin. I think he's kind of the threat here. And we are just going to Waterfall into Kilowattrel. I don't think Gyarados is going to win here. Okay, he goes for Protect. Okay. Discharge, that's going to hit both of us. It's probably going to kill us both. Yep. Okay. So he played that turn really, really, really well. What I should have done is gone for an E-Speed on Kilowattrel. Okay, we've got Fluttermane. Fluttermane's not going to live one turn. So, we lose another one. If we do lose the next fight, we're going to scrap this team and move on to Team 2. I really don't think teams that consistently lose or lose like 3 times in a row are really worth exploring after that. Yeah, I mean, we could factor in my own personal failings here and failure to predict things and this and that, but I'm not super solid on this team anyway. I feel like it doesn't have enough damage. It's not bulky enough to warrant the damage it doesn't do. Really. Alright, yep, we're going to continue for one more round on this team. All right, so this is the Sun team that we've seen almost for two maybe 3 weeks now. So any amount of meddling with their setup really shuts them down. So I'm actually going to go out to... Gonna bring these 2 out first. Fluttermane in the back. Actually, what I should do is this. They can set up Sun all they want. I'm gonna reset it with Rain and then taunt the Murkrow, because he's probably gonna lead with Murkrow and Sunny Day immediately. But we are going to bring Fluttermane in the back, and I'm going to bring Chien-Pao this time. I personally don't like Chien-Pao. Of the Treasures of Ruin, Chien-Pao is probably my least favorite, just design-wise, gameplay-wise. I don't like anything about it. And if you ask me, I think that they put the Treasures of Ruin, the Legendaries, in far too soon. I would have been happy to not see Legendaries in VGC for many, many months. So not exactly what I was expecting him to lead with, but I also don't think he was expecting me to lead with this either. I'm going to go for a taunt on Corviknight, and we're going to go for a Thunder Wave. No. Let's go for a Waterfall onto Great Tusk, just to get that super effective damage. I'm surprised that did not do as much damage as I thought it was going to do. So he really comes out on choosing close combat not great that turn. Not only does he take Rocky Helmet damage, he also lowers his defenses. But he's likely going to switch next turn. Okay, we see Fluttermane. Tauntaun Fluttermane's really not going to do much. Fluttermane usually doesn't really do anything. For setup, anyway. I'm going to go ahead and go for... Well... I've got very delicate Pokemon in the back, so I'm just going to go for an Earthquake here, just for funsies. I don't think Tinglu's going to live, but we are going to go for a Thunder Wave onto Fluttermane. Okay, it's probably a Terra Fairy Fluttermane. Yep, okay. I was going to lose my mind if it was electric, like, why? Because it would be just my luck to run into the only Terra Electric Fluttermane that wants to avoid Thunder Waves specifically from Gyarados. Okay, Moonblast. Okay, I was expecting a... Dazzling Gleam, not a Moonblast. Okay, Fluttermane's got Paralysis now, so probably not going to be around for too much longer. I am going to send out my own Fluttermane. And we are also going to Terra Fluttermane, but we are going to Dazzling Gleam. I do want to get that spread around. So we are going to go for a Waterfall into Fluttermane and finish it off. We should outspeed with Fluttermane being paralyzed. And he's not in a very good position here. I don't see Fluttermane living this turn. Sure, it'll resist the Dazzling Gleam damage, but it'll take neutral damage from Waterfall. And it's not very tanky on its own. Oh, Fluttermane goes back. Double switch. Okay, Corviknight comes out. Still neutral damage on Corviknight. On it just doesn't live. Okay, and not a whole lot of damage on Corviknight. That's totally fine. This Corviknight's very heavily invested in defense. So we see his Fluttermane come back out. Corviknight is kind of a threat here. Although we should still outspeed, I don't think we are going... Well... If we swap out to Chen Pao, probably take us down to Sash. But then we should be able to pick up the kill. Well, no, because if he just goes hard into Fluttermane, Chen Pao is just going to go right down. I'm going to go for the Waterfall on Fluttermane and just kind of whittle it down, put some damage on it. Chen Pao's probably going to go down here since he was sitting in that Fluttermane spot. Okay, we go down Sash. Now we're probably going to see a Dazzling Gleam. Yeah, okay. Okay, we'll go into Fluttermane. As long as we outspeed this Corviknight, I think we should be fine. And I'm not 100% sure if we are going to. But we'll go for Gleam. It is funny, though, that this was the Sun team that I've been seeing a lot lately and that we ran with a few weeks ago. And he didn't bother setting up Sun at all. Okay, Corviknight goes out, and in comes Great Tusk. Great Tusk is not going to live this. I don't care which way or how. Pretty sure his Fluttermane's not going to either. Yeah, Fluttermane does not. So that paralysis on his Fluttermane was very important for getting that outspeed. Now we just have to worry that we outspeed Corviknight, which I think we should. We are fully invested. We are 252 speed and special attack, so we should outspeed. But we are choice spec, so we are locked into Dazzling Gleam. So, and we get it. Kind of by the skin of our teeth, though. So, third game, we did win. I think we did okay there. Really, the key with this team, apparently, is just to go hyper-aggressive despite being tanky. Which, to me, is a little bit weird. So, maybe that's where I'm not doing very well with this team. So, we'll give it another go. We're going to go hyper-offensive. The team that I was working on, that is team number 2. So we'll do that team after this team. What I usually like to do on Wednesdays is I usually like to do one team for an hour and then the other team for an hour. So we got about 20 minutes left on this team. Unless the team just is kind of garbage, then we just throw it away and go to the next team. But I don't know if you were here earlier, but I was saying that I'm not super impressed with this dirt team, this Orthworm team. It, on the surface, looks really, really tanky, and the Pokemon actually are invested. Like, this Gyarados is tanky, that Orthworm is tanky, Tinglu, of course, is tanky, and even the Dragonite is a little bit bulky. And so it feels like you should play a little bit defensively a little bit, but this last game I went hyper offensive, and that was the first time that I won with it. So kind of think that's the key here. All right, so we've got maybe a snow team, maybe, with a confused Iron Moth on it. Not quite sure. Mian. Not sure what Mian wants to do with this team, but I know what to expect out of each of these. Maybe Sludge Waves out of Iron Moth there, and of course our old friends. Gardevoir is kind of new-ish. I don't see it too often. But we are going to bring... I'm going to open with Gyarados, Orthworm. We are going to bring... Chien-Pao. I'm not going to bring Fluttermane this game, I don't think. I think this game we're probably going to need some help with speed. So I'm going to bring kind of my hyper-offensive core. Well, sort of. Instead of Fluttermane, we're bringing Gyarados for a slot. But we'll see how this gets going. Chuck made Cajun shrimp Alfredo and garlic bread, and it was actually really, really good. He asked me to give him a grade, and I knew if I graded him too high, he would be like, bullshit. So I gave him a very solid B+. Like an 89 B+, like barely an A-. Alright, here comes snow warning. I'm actually just going to not give a shit about that and put up a rain dance. And I don't know if Orthworm is going to outspeed the Amoonguss, but we'll see. Rage powder. Okay, whatever. You let me set up. I'm gonna set up. Let's get rid of that that snow protecting you here. I'm not a fan of that. And we are just going to Shed Tail out of here. Give us a little bit of protection from Spore here. I'm super glad that he didn't Spore. And I don't want to go into Dragonite just yet. I think I want to bring Dragonite late game. And we're going to go in for Chien-Pao. I think Chien-Pao can do a lot of damage to this team very quickly. Yep, can't Aurora Veil without snow there, buddy. And we are going to go for a... we're going to go for a Thunder Wave onto Amoonguss. And yeah, I'm going to Sacred Sword into... Okay, kind of expected that. And we see Iron Bundle. Okay. So we are, the Sacred Sword is going to get a super effective hit onto Iron Bundle. Which is great for us, because this should actually just take it out unless it's sashed. Oh, wow. It didn't. Is that a defensively oriented Iron Bundle? That'd be so weird. Okay, we see Spore come out. Haha! Safety goggles. Eat it. I don't want to bulldoze here. Don't think that's the right choice. I'm actually going to Thunder Wave onto the Iron Bundle slot, thinking, assuming that he's going to swap back out for what's his name? Obama Snow. But that doesn't happen. So we're just going to Sacred Sword into Amoonguss, who is just going to eat that really, really well. Fair enough. Okay, now we are going to swap out for Dragonite, and we're going to... we're not going to Terra, but we are going to E-Speed onto our little penguin friend. And we are actually going to go for an Ice Spinner into Amoonguss. And the nice thing, Rage Powder is, of course, a priority move, but Extreme Speed is a +2 priority move, so it will always go faster than Rage Powder. And if you're ever curious, I think it's very, very helpful for anyone who doesn't quite understand priority to look up priority on Bulbapedia and actually look at the priority chart. Most priority will sit at a +1, whereas things like Extreme Speed, Feint, and Pursuit, I think, sit at +2, but only Pursuit only if it's if there's a switch. So we won't be able to do anything about this snow anymore, which is unfortunate. But what we are going to do is we're going to Terra, and we're going to Terra Blast immediately into Abomasnow here, and then we are actually going to, just to make sure that we get the kill here, I'm going to Sacred Sword into it. I honestly just want to be safe. We are protected. I do believe our Gyarados is wearing a Lumberry, if I'm not mistaken. Let me double check that. No, actually, did I screw up? No, I didn't. Maybe I did. I don't know. Okay. Well, Abomasnow goes down. No Aurora Veil for you. Black Sludge on Amoonguss. I'm pretty sure we have Lumberry on Dragonite. Kind of sworn we did. Anyway, I'm gonna Earthquake onto these two, and we are gonna go out. Oh, Dragonite's dead. Well, that's unfortunate. We are gonna Sucker Punch into, if we don't get Rage Powdered. Actually, I'm just gonna Protect here. That's the safest option. Battle's canceled. Never mind. All right. Yeah, shutting his weather down really kind of screwed up his team. I think he relied on that a little bit too much to set up Aurora Veil first. So that's why I put Rain Dance on Gyarados, specifically to interrupt and disrupt weather teams. I haven't seen too many rain teams, to be honest, and that's why I went with this Rain Dance specifically. Is because including this one, I've seen a couple of snow teams abuse the new defense bonus for ice types and the Aurora Veil, but mostly I see a lot of sun teams, a lot of different kinds of sun teams, and I really wanted to shut down their fire types with sun or with rain. But I am actually going to take a quick break here. Typically, we do it at the top of the hour, but I'm going to do it now. When we come back, we'll probably start using the Howl team and see how that goes. When I watched Olivia do her showcase of her team, she actually didn't do super great at first. And it was kind of hard to see what maybe went wrong with the team. But I think what I want to do is I want to kind of focus on using Sableye as kind of a mind game player to really like obfuscate the enemy team and just make it really annoying for them to try and do anything. So I think I'll go that route. And I think what we'll do is we'll do the annoying crap first, and then we'll come in with the damage late game. We'll see how that strategy goes and if it pans out. But I will be right back. Alrighty. We are back. Yes, I want to continue battling, but switch teams. I wish that were in a different order. Like, obviously I want to continue battling, but I also want to switch teams, which logically would be the second step, not the concurrent step. Anyway. Alright, let's go with our Howl team here. So, essentially, what this team wants to do is allow the Fluttermane, or not Fluttermane, the Screamtail and Gastrodon exert their control, power up the team, and let Ceruledge or Chien-Pao or Dragonite sweep. I'm not too sure how Ceruledge is going to work out. It is kind of a bulky setup with Assault Vest. So, we'll see. Our enemy is bringing Washrotom. Don't see him too often this go-around of VGC. Arcanine, Corviknight, again, don't see it very often. Iron Valiant, Farigiraf, and Ting-Lu. So, not quite sure what to expect out of here. Possibly a Trick Room team is what I'm thinking with Ting-Lu and Farigiraf on the same team. So, we can meet that same energy. So, I'm going to go in... Actually, I'm not going to go in with... well, you know what? Maybe. Let's go in with our two setters first and see how well that goes. And we're going to bring our heavy offense in the back. Don't think he's going to bring Washrotom. Just even seeing the Gastrodon, he's probably not going to bring Washrotom. Yeah, I think that's the play. I'm gonna get set up for ideally Ceruledge to come in and do some sweeping. Hopefully, anyway. Other than what I mentioned earlier when we started, our Sableye actually has no ability to do damage itself. The only thing that it can do is that it can encore an enemy into hopefully a harmless move and disable it, and then watch as the enemy struggles themselves to death. Alright, we see Washrotom. Kind of figured he wouldn't bring it with me having a Gastrodon on my team, but here we are. Alright, Intimidate comes out. I'm super not thrilled with that, though, just because they kind of put Screamtail... I have to Howl here to put Screamtail at neutral seating. But actually, what I think I want to do here... is I'm going to go for a Thunder Wave onto... Arcanine. And we are going to set up... we're going to set up a light screen, because I'm pretty sure that Rotom, Lord, I'm having a hard time with names, is probably either going to Volt Switch immediately, or he's going to Hydro Pump immediately. Will-O-Wisp, okay. So, Screamtail is doing absolutely nothing this game, other than maybe some Howls and Thunder Waves. And Arcanine uses Howl. Awesome. So, the first time we use our Howl team, we go against a Howl team. Alright. Actually, did that just increase Rotom's attack? That's so weird. Why do that? We're actually going to swap out. Actually, no, I don't want to swap out just yet. I am in an awkward position. I'm going to swap out for Chien-Pao. I think that's kind of my safest bet. And we're going to set up a reflect now. Okay. Rotom comes out with a Thunderbolt. Didn't really do a whole lot of damage, and then a Flare Blitz. All onto Sableye. Okay, Sableye goes down. At least we got our screens up. So, Sableye did its job, really. I'm kind of playing careful this game. Reason being is that I really have no idea what this team is going to do. Or what the enemy team is going to do, rather. But we don't have to worry about Arcanine unless it has extreme speed, which I'm not super worried about. I am going to go for... I'm actually going to go for a Sucker Punch onto Rotom. And we are going to Terra into Steel. And we are going to go for a Shadow Claw onto Rotom. Not too worried about being Steel type against this team. The only thing that I would be kind of worried about is maybe that he has what do you call it? Iron Valiant in the back. And we barely don't take down Rotom. Okay, Cerulege takes that like a champ, but we are tanky invested and we've got screens, so that does help. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna go for another Sucker Punch into Rotom, hopefully finish it off. And we are gonna go for a Shadow Claw into, well, I'm actually gonna go into Rotom just in case the Sucker Punch doesn't go off. Okay, he protects, never mind. So, we wasted a turn here, basically. We basically wasted a turn. Essentially all that did was just waste one of my turns of Light Screen and Reflect. So we got one more turn of Light Screen. So let's make use of it. I'm going to go for a Sacred Sword into Rotom. That way I don't have to worry about it not attacking. And we're going to go for a Shadow Claw into Arcanine. Okay. So Rotom goes back. Who am I Sacred Swording into? Ferrograph. Okay, that's not too bad. That's going to be neutral damage. It being Psychic Flame. Shadow Claw comes out. Crit. Excellent. That crit probably mattered. I don't know how tanky this Arcanine is, but typically you do run them a little bit tanky so that they can offer a good amount of setup for their allies. I am curious to see what this Ferrograph does. Typically you see it on Trick Room teams, not, you know, whatever teams. I am going to go for a Sucker Punch into Ferrograph. Actually, no, I'm not. We are going to go for another Sacred Sword. And we're going to go for a Bitter Blade into Corviknight. Sacred Sword comes out. Ferrograph, that Ferrograph is tanky. Bitter Blade comes out. We might actually see the Trick Room from Ferrograph, which would be kind of weird and kind of disjointed for his team. It wasn't really a slow team. Okay, there's the Trick Room that we thought was going to be weird coming out, and it totally did. That's okay. We have priority here, so it really doesn't matter. We're going to go for the Sucker Punch onto Fergaraf, and we're going to go for the Shadow Sneak onto Rotom. So even if Rotom protects here, that's fine. As long as Fergaraf doesn't put down another weird Trick Room, we should be good here. Oh, Armor Tail. Oh, I totally forgot about Armor Tail. Ah. The Dazzling Bloom comes out, and Howl takes that pretty easily. The bolt comes out. Tin Pal's, yeah, totally down. That's fine. Totally forgot about Armor Tail. I should have known better. I put Fergaraf on a few teams specifically because of Armor Tail, because I didn't want to run Psychic Terrain. Okay. Let's go in. Actually, yeah, I don't really need the damage bonus. Let's go in for a Psychic Fangs on Rotom. Again, worst case scenario is he just does a Protect. And we're going to go for a Bitter Blade onto Fergaraf just to kind of keep our health as high as possible. Once Fergaraf is a little bit weaker, then we'll probably go for close combat, assuming he's not going to Terra Ghost here. Terra Electric. Okay. Well, sure. Dazzling Bloom comes out. That really doesn't do any damage. And that was a crit. Wow. This might hurt because it's going to be neutral damage. But we are very tankily invested. Bitter Blade. Good amount of damage. Rotom goes down here. Psychic Fangs will kill. And it's a crit. Not that we needed that crit, but let's just, you know, kind of rub salt in that wound. So, Rotom goes down. We've got this game in the bag. This game was a little bit weird. Our opponent really didn't have a whole lot of damage, and he really didn't have a whole lot of synergy with his team. So I think he just brought kind of an inferior setup. As hoity-toity as that sounds, thank you. Yeah, he did bring a very good team. It didn't have very good damage. It had very little synergy. So, yeah. It is what it is. But I do like this team. It is pretty fun. It was a little slow at first because I did lead with our two setups, and the wrong setup got disabled too soon. But as soon as Ceruledge Edge came out, that was it. Chien-Pao was basically there for support. Yay, we are rank 9 for the first time ever. God. So, let's get into the next battle. And another thing, too, that I really like about this team is it's that because it's OliviaSama's creation, it's not like, you know, everyone is running it. It's not like Wolf Glick is running this team and everybody knows about it. Alright, so we see Dozogiri, we see Iron Moth. It could hit. No, it's not a Sun team. That would be a weird Sun team. But it is a hyper offensive team. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to lead with our screen setter. I am slightly worried of a Surf Dozo, so I am going to bring Gastrodon, but in the back, I think. Let's bring these two in the back. Yeah, I like that. If he does bring out Don Dozo turn 1, or Dozogiri, Tatsu Dozo first thing coming out of the gate. We're just going to swap immediately into Gastrodon to kind of keep that under control. Not really anything here super threatens Gastrodon, unless one of them is like Grass Terra, or if maybe can Iron Moth learn Energy Ball? I don't know. Not 100%. I could look that up. I'm too lazy. Not going to. But that would be kind of a threat to it. Uh-oh. Usually it doesn't take this long to load. I don't like that. Okay. Looks like we're fine. Alright, so we see Dozo but no Geary. So that's suspicious. Not quite sure what I should do here, if I should light screen or reflect. Because Dondozo typically is physical, and of course Fluttermane's Fluttermane and does special damage. So I'm actually... I'm going to go for a light screen here. And we are going to swap out Dragonite for Gastrodon. If for nothing else, we'll save some damage from Fluttermane just being Fluttermane and mean. And Gastrodon should be able to tank that hit fairly well. Especially with the light screen up. Okay, Dazzling Gleam comes out. We've got a Rosalie Berry just for that instance. And Dozo uses Substitute. That's unfortunate. I'm going to assume that this Fluttermane is Specs, just based on how much damage that did do to Sableye. So we're going to go for a Disable on Fluttermane here. And we are going to go for... I really hate to leave a substitute up on Dozo, but I'm gonna Earth Power into Dozo. Okay, he swaps out immediately, so it's probably gonna be Tatsugiri coming out. Oh, Dragonite. Okay. So we disable into nothing, and Dozo uses Order Up with no Geary. Okay. Excuse me. Okay, Dozo substitute faded, so... excuse me again. That is good to know that that our Earth Power is enough to take out a substitute. I'm going to go ahead and reflect here now that I kind of know what's going on. And we're just going to go ahead and recover on Gastrodon. Interesting that he decided to switch out the Fluttermane and not come in with Tatsugiri and go for Dragonite, of all things. It's just kind of odd to me. Oh, wow. That was through a reflect. I don't think that was a crit. That was a crit. Okay. Well, we tried to set up. We did not set up anything useful. Well, we got screens off, I guess. But our main protection from... it doesn't matter. Main protection from Dozo just went down super easily. I really don't like that, so I might have to look at Gastrodon and see what I can do to make it a little tankier. Well, if I Terra here, I'll take neutral damage from Dozo. I'm going to go ahead and Terra Steel here. And we're going to Shadow Claw into Dozo, even though he's probably just going to substitute again. And we are going to... I'm going to Ice Spinner into his Dragonite. And we are choice banded on this Dragonite, so we are locked into Ice Spinner. So we did get rid of our water weakness here, but it changes to a water neutrality, which isn't the greatest. Okay, he protects. That's good to know. Better he protects than he substitutes, honestly. Okay, Dragon Claw comes out. Not very effective against a Steel type. Ice Spinner goes out. He's probably multi-scale, so this isn't going to do... Wow, okay, so he's not multi-scale. Which is interesting, too, because a lot of team builds that I see with Dragonite on it are putting Inner Focus on it. And, like, Inner Focus is good, don't get me wrong, but I feel like multi-scale is a little bit more useful. Like, if there's a fake-out user, you know it's going to be a fake-out user. And why would the fake-out user use fake-out on something that could have Inner Focus? Like, I don't understand the logic. I wouldn't fake out onto something that I know could have Inner Focus and just hope that it doesn't. You know what I mean? Okay, so we're probably going to see a Terra flying from King Gambit here, which is super okay with me. What I'm going to do, though, is I'm going to double into it. I'm going to go for a Bitter Blade and an Ice Spinner into King Gambit, anticipating that Terra flying. Not super worried about Dozo since... oh, he doesn't Terra. Okay. So we are just going to heal back up. I don't think this Ice Spinner is going to get the KO, though. It is resisting damage. Yeah, it's not. Okay, Wave Crash comes out. If that... I'm pretty sure that's on to... Oh, it's not. Thought that was on to Dragonite. Kowtow Cleave. Not a whole lot of damage onto our multiscale. Totally fine. Light Screen wears off. That might be a problem when Fluttermane comes back in. How long do we have left on Reflect? I think we have 2 turns left. Or, yep, 2 turns. I'm going to go for another Bitter Blade into... Well, no. Don't want to... Yeah. And again, we are locked into Ice Spinner. I'm just going to double into King Gambit. If we do get some damage on Dozo, that's fine. He hasn't used Substitute quite yet, but honestly, the Substitute is pretty much the only damage that has been put onto it so far. Cool. We made the right call. We doubled up into the right one. Okay, Sucker Punch comes out. That deals a good amount of damage to Cerulege. But we're going to get a little bit of HP back here with this Bitter Blade. Little bit, not a whole lot. I enjoy Dragonite. I wish that it matched and it went with Dratini and Dragonair's theme a little bit more than it does. Because it's the macaroni and cheese dinosaur with wings. Like you get a blue serpent with a blue winged serpent, and then you get mac and cheese dinosaur. Like, what is this? We are... Doza's probably going to go into Ceruledge really hard here. But I am worried about the damage that's going to come off of Fluttermane. So we are going to double into Fluttermane. Okay, is that a sash? That is not a sash. Okay. Ceruledge goes down. I am kind of surprised. I wonder if it is Specs, though, with that amount of damage. But we lost our light screen. Who knows? Fluttermane goes down. I don't know that we're going to have enough damage to take out Dozo. I really don't think so. But I don't think he's going to have enough damage to take us out. But he does have that leftover, so... I don't know. We'll see. We just lost our Reflect. Yeah, I can't Thunder Punch. Otherwise, if we had locked ourselves into Thunder Punch, we would have been sitting real pretty. Okay, hold up. Yeah. Yeah, we're toast. Oh well. I don't think we could have really done anything different there. I think we did the best we could. There wasn't a whole lot that I could do about Dozo. I think maybe we could have gone into Thunder Punch safely enough, and I wouldn't have had to Ice Spinner into his Dragonite. It probably would have been enough to just Thunder Punch into it, to have Thunder Punched into it. But I don't know. What I should have done, though, is once I locked into Ice Spinner, I should have had a better answer for Dozo. But I do like this team so far. I so far have not used it in any way that Olivia had intended in her showcase, so. All right, so we see a Screamtail. We see, is this a sand team? Not quite sure what the idea with Screamtail, Tyranitar, Brutebonnet, Hydreigon, Mousehold, and Annihilape is. Mousehold and Annihilape kind of go together like bread and butter, but the other four, I'm not quite seeing any kind of synergy here. I'm thinking Hydreigon's maybe a Tailwind setter? Maybe? I don't know. I'm actually going to bring in Chin-Pao because none of his team is really going to like taking an Ice Spinner to the face. He could go in with Mousehold to break my Sash, but if that happens, then I'm going to bring in... Yeah, I think that's probably the ticket. We're going to bring in Ceruledge in the back, and I don't see any good reason to bring Gastrodon or Sableye, so we're just going to bring in kind of our offensive core. Our offensive core. They're still pretty tanky for being the offensive core. Annihilape and Brutebonnet. I wonder if the Brutebonnet has a loaded dice and he seeds into Annihilape. Maybe? I don't know. Maybe Rage Powder to keep Annihilape safe? I don't know. But let's go ahead and Ice Spinner into Brute Bonnet. We might see a Spore. Actually, I'm going to go for a Howl. I don't think he's going to Spore into Screamtail. Yes, okay, he's not. He was not Scarfing. Cool. So we don't have to worry about Spore. Okay, Green Thunder comes out. It goes down to where we get to our salve, so that's fine. I'll live with that. He might send out Tyranitar here just to kill me with Sandstream. Okay, Mousehold. That's a-okay. I think Mousehold does get Sucker Punch. Not 100% sure. No, I don't want to Terra here. I'm going to go for a Sacred Sword into it, just in case. And I'm actually going to Thunder Wave the Annihilate to slow it down. Okay, Mousehold uses Protect, that's fine. Okay, hopefully we get the Paralysis off. If we do, we can keep Chien-Pao to do a lot more work. Okay, such a tiny little Protect. Okay, Annihilate. Okay, goodbye, Chien-Pao. Annihilate goes back. What are we getting? Oh, his Screamtail. Alright. Okay, his has a booster energy, and that goes straight to speed. Okay. I'm going to send out Ceruledge here. I think that's pretty safe. And we are going to Terra here, and we are going to... I'm not super worried about his Screamtail really doing a whole lot of damage to Ceruledge. So we're going to go straight for a Shadow Claw. And do I want to paralyze it, or do I want to power up Ceruledge? Oh, I'm going to power up Ceruledge. We're going to go for a Howl. We're gonna play the me team. Okay. Mousehold is now Terra Normal. Okay. So probably Population Bomb bonus, I guess. Which is fine. He might actually knock out Screamtail. Screamtail is not super duper bulky. But I don't think he's gonna do that much damage to Ceruledge. We're gonna resist this. As well as being tanky invested and assault vest. Okay, let's see if we outspeed the Screamtail though. Okay, Screamtail uses disable. So, oh no, Howl's disabled. Whatever shall we do? Okay, he does go for Screamtail, being the most vulnerable here. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, Screamtail goes down. It's kind of weird that he went in for a disable knowing that that was going to take me out. Like, why bother? Goodbye, Screamtail. Oh, wow. We bring in our Dragonite. I'm going to go in for a close combat into Mousehold here. And I'm going to also go in for... unless that Mousehold is sashed, I don't see it lit. We're going to go for an Extreme Speed into Screamtail. Just to get it off the field. Mousehold goes for a population bomb, likely onto Dragonite. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He's probably dead. 6, 7, 8. Yeah. I'm not a big fan of population bomb, to be honest. With loaded dice, I just feel like it's a little OP. A little too OP. Okay, Surledge loses a little bit of defenses, which is fine. We are absolutely going to outspeed Annihilate, and we're going to go in for a Shadow Claw. Assuming that it's not sashed, we should be fine. Okay, Shadow Claw into Annihilate, because he can Drain Punch into us, and it is going to hurt. Yeah, he's dead. Never mind. GG. He did put up a very good fight. I probably could have played that a little bit better, to be honest. I should not have let Mousehold do Mousehold things. But our Sarah-Ledge really didn't have a really good answer for it, and since our Sarah-Ledge is also not super duper speedy, there wasn't a whole lot that I could do fast enough, to be honest. But I think we played that as best as we could with what we brought to the fight. All right, we're going to continue. I do really like this team, actually. I like it quite a bit. So Olivia does build very good teams. Ooh, boy. So maybe Trick Room? Maybe Trick Room Sun? It's a very warm team. Yeah, I'm not quite sure what the idea is. He could do a lot of things. Doxbun is good with fire. Yeah, I'm not quite sure what the main idea with this team is. But I am going to bring... I think I want to do that again. I'm going to go Hyper Offensive again. And instead of Dragonite, we are going to bring in Gastrodon for Iron Bundle. Not only Iron Bundle, but also Iron Hands. Gastrodon just really does really well against a lot of this guy's team, except for maybe Ndidi. And maybe... Armarouge if it has Energy Ball, which it usually doesn't. So I'm not super worried. If it does have Energy Ball, though, I will eat my foot. It would be kind of gross, though. All right, let's see what we got. Who are we opening with? Armarouge and Ndidi. Okay, so I guess we're gonna see Expanding Force, which seems odd to me. Okay, there goes our speed. We are actually... Now we're just going to Howl again and just immediately murder something. I don't want to Sucker Punch because I don't quite know what they're going to set up. One of them is going to Trick Room. Absolutely one of them is going to Trick Room. I'm going to go for an Ice Spinner into Ndidi. Get rid of this terrain. Well, I couldn't Sucker Punch anyway if I really wanted to. But we're going to Ice Spinner into Ndidi. Oh, okay, Ndidi goes back. He's probably going to bring in something that resists Ice Spinner. But Doxbun. So that's not a resistance to Ice Spinner. So, but Darkspawn does tend to have fairly high defense. So we're probably going to see... I keep saying Eruption, but I think it's something else. I think it's... what is it? It's Lava Plume. That's it. Into Darkspawn. And Chinpow goes down to Sash. That's fine. And we get a burn. Motherfucker. So Chinpow goes down in one hit, despite the Sash. That's irritating as fuck. God damn it. But we are going to go out to... actually, we both can really absorb fire moves very easily. So we're going to go out to Ceruledge here. And I'm going to go for a Howl. And we're going to Terra. And we are going to go for a Shadow Claw into Darkspawn and try and take that out as fast as humanly possible. We're probably going to see Indeedee come back, though, and set up... Shadow Claw was not the right move. He's going to swap back to Indeedee and set the terrain back up. Guarantee you. Maybe Gastrodon was the better pick here. Okay, never mind. He doesn't switch. Okay, Ceruledge gets the attack boost. Darkspawn uses Yawn. Okay, so I do want to switch out because I really don't want Ceruledge to go to sleep at any point. Okay, Darkspawn is doing Darkspawn things and just being extraordinarily tanky. I don't particularly appreciate that. We're going to go for a Psychic Fangs, and we are going to swap out for Gastrodon to prevent that sleep. What I really should do after this fight, though, is I should go check out Picolytics and just see what people are doing with Darkspawn setups. Because I feel like people just go, like, 252 into defense and special defense and just go to town. I am going to go... I'm going to go for another Psychic Fangs into Darkspawn, and we are going to go for a Clear Smog. Yeah, we're going to go for a Clear Smog into Darkspawn. Okay, never mind. Totally not needed. Armor use Clear Smog. Okay. Right back at you. Okay. Now we're probably going to see our friend Indeedee come back out and set up the terrain. That's okay. I am going to go for a Thunder Wave onto Armor Rouge, though. I am kind of anticipating a large amount of damage coming from it. And we are going to go for an Earth Power. Okay, never mind. We aren't going to do anything to Armor Rouge. Okay, Expanding Force. Creamtail definitely is not going to live that, but yeah. Gastrodon should. Gastrodon's very tanky. Earth Power comes out. lot of damage onto Indeedee. And just because of Indeedee's redirects, we are in kind of a bad spot. Really close combat is the only thing that I can do. So that's all we can do. I don't think Gastrodon is going to last long enough to make recover at all worthwhile. And he's going to move before us to get an Earth Power off. But whatever, we'll try it. Okay, close combat. But this is, I've actually, over the last, what, 3-ish, 4 weeks, maybe? I have never gone against a Darkspun team and won. Anytime they bring Darkspun, I lose. Every single time. Oh, okay. Gastrodon's just going to nom 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 nom, eat that shit up. Okay. Interesting. I think he just saw the steel type and just got really greedy and forgot that flash fire is a thing. Okay, Iron Hands comes out. We can't Shadow Sneak still because of things. But we are going to go for a Bitter Blade just to get as much damage. That's going to be our best bet for well... Bitter Blade's 90. Yeah, Bitter Blade is our best bet. And we are going to Earth Power. Very good hit. Took him down to below half. So he does have Citrus. That makes me think he's going to Belly Drum. Drain Punch. Okay. Well, not like we could have done a whole lot anyway. Alright, and we just go for Bitter Blades. We kind of have the advantage here. Anytime he attacks us, we can just heal right back up. Considerably, considering how much. Oh my god, okay, never mind. Or he can just one-shot us through Assault Vest and Defense Investment. Lord, he didn't even have the boost. The Proto Energy boost, so... I go back to my previous statement. Anytime Darkspun comes to the field, I do not win. That Darkspun doesn't even have to play off of any of his other team members. He just needs like a couple of defense boosts. That's it. Huge disruption the entire game. So, that's not fun for me. What I ought to do is just have like an entirely special poison team and just for Darkspun just to hunt down this stupid Weeder dog. I'll just bring a team of like, I don't know, there's not even that many special oriented poison types in the game really. Maybe I should bring like Muck or something. Who can learn Toxic on their own by level up? I'm sure Muck can. Alright, so maybe a Sand team? Maybe kind of weird to bring a Sand team with Chen Pao. And another Gardevoir. We've seen a couple of teams bring Gardevoir, but not actually like take it to the fight. Golden Go doing Golden Go things. Not super worried about that. Yeah, I mean, he's got a very hyper offensive team. Except for maybe Gardevoir is probably the setter or like the support for the team. I don't see Gardevoir being super duper offensive. I mean, I can. I just don't think he's gonna run it as super offense. But the good thing is that his team is relatively slow, except for Chen Pao. So I'm going to bring our Chen Pao. I'm going to bring Sableye. Whoops. And I don't want to bring Dragonite. The Golden Go is probably Terra Water. So I'm actually going to bring these guys. And I'm going to leave Screamtail in the back. I don't think we're going to have enough time to set up Howl. Because I think we basically have to get more momentum than our opponent does. Or at least meet his momentum and exceed it. So Chen Pao and Gardevoir. So first time seeing Gardevoir in a long time. I am going to go for a Reflect, though. Here. Oh, that's not great. I don't like that at all. And I'm actually going to go for a Protect. So we can preserve our Sash for as long as possible. Going to go for a Reflect. We should be able to resist a Fairy hit from Gardevoir should she choose to go on the offense. Okay, Sacred Sword comes out. Nothing. Okay, Moonblast comes out. Nothing. I am going to go for a Disable onto his Chen Pao. And we are going to Sucker Punch. Well, Sucker Punch isn't going to really take it out in one hit, I don't think. Good. We're going to go for a Sucker Punch into his Gardevoir, and we are going to Disable into his Chen Pao. Even if his Chen Pao goes for Protect, it's fine, but he doesn't. Oh, Dark type. God damn it. I always forget that the treasures are all Dark type. Okay, I'm going to go for another Protect here. And I don't like that Gardevoir used Hypnosis last turn, so I'm going to try and disable that. Okay. Okay, Moonblast, and again, we just kind of repeated our second turn. I'm kind of surprised that he keeps doubling into my Chen Pao. I'm actually, you know what? Just to be a jerk, I'm going to Terra here. I'm going to Sacred Sword into his Chen Pao. And we are going to Encore his Chen Pao with Sacred Sword. And unless he has PP ups, he probably doesn't have too much PP left of Sacred Sword. But that's okay. We're both Ghost types now. He ain't gonna do anything to us. But he could Sucker Punch here, and that would kind of ruin my day a lot. God damn it! I keep forgetting. I'm Prankster. I can't hit him with status moves. Okay, Moonblast comes out. He learns. Sableye just eats that up. That was a lot of damage, though, from Gardevoir. So I'm not super happy about that. How much? We have one turn of Reflect left. So I'm just going to go ahead and set up Light Screen. We should be able to live one more Moonblast. Should. Maybe. I don't know. I'm not running damage calcs. I rarely don't. Roselli Berry reduces your fairy damage taken. Okay, he is going to Terra here to Terra Dark, which is fine. He's probably going for a Sucker Punch and wanting to get as much damage off as possible. But we're faster, so it doesn't matter. Goodbye, wasted your Terra. I'm so sorry for your luck, sir. Yep, once the Roselli Berry is consumed, it's gone, unless you have an ability that replenishes your berry. Nope, okay, Sableye goes down. So, and it was a crit. So that crit maybe mattered, I don't know. I'm not running calcs. I don't care to use calcs. I would prefer to use, like, feeling, I guess. Be in my feels. I'm actually going to go for Ceruledge to try and keep up our momentum. Ceruledge should be able to kind of toy with Gardevoir and do quite a lot of damage. I don't like Tyranitar being out because Sandstream is going to break my sash. So we are going to Sacred Sword into Tyranitar. And we are going to probably eat a rock attack from Tyranitar, but that's probably going to happen anyway. But we're going to go for a Shadow Claw into Gardevoir and hopefully take it out in one hit. Yeah, Tyranitar goes down. I was going to say unless he sashed, which he couldn't be because his Chien-Pao was sashed. Okay, Moonblast comes out. Wow, okay, Chien-Pao does not go down to that. Oh, that's right, we're not weak to it anymore. Ha! Did Olivia go Terra Ghost on... I think she did. I don't know. I've got it on my screen over here, but it's too small for me to read. Okay, Spinner, and we are going to go for Shadow Claw. That's kind of our safest option. Alrighty. Chien-Pao doing a lot of work this game. It was a little slow at the beginning because I don't think we were quite comfortable leading with a lot of offense right away. But yeah, I think what it really came down to is the second time that I used Protect on Chien-Pao, and he did the exact same thing and double up into it. He should have changed tactics. Like I don't quite understand what he was going for after that. But we are going to stop here for the night. It is nearly 9 o'clock my time. I did have a lot of fun with this team. I think I actually am going to keep Olivia's team kind of on the back burner. Like I did with our rain team here. This is my rain team. I did have to borrow the Dragonite to come to the dirt team. Again, super not a big fan of the dirt team. I think where this team really suffered is that it just really doesn't have a whole lot of damage compared to its bulk. It's a very bulky team, but really the biggest damage on this team comes from just Chien-Pao and Fluttermane, which isn't the greatest because Chien-Pao usually goes down in 2 hits at least, and Fluttermane almost always goes down in 1 hit. Whereas the rest of the team does take multiple hits to go down, but the best that I can do is just kind of like control them with Thunder Wave and Taunt and maybe get off some good body presses, maybe. So I don't know. It was really hard to gain momentum with this team, and it was even harder to keep that momentum with this team. I guess I'm just not a big fan. It could be that I'm just really not a big fan of tanky teams anymore, which would be strange for me because for all of Gen 5, 6, and 7, that's kind of what I did. Is I ran unusually tanky Pokemon. But I think the start here was Olivia's team. I really like this Howl team. So I think we are going to put it with the Rain team back here as kind of a team to go back to. And I'll probably put our Dragonite back on the Rain team. But Dirt, probably going to go in the Dirt where it belongs. I don't quite know if I'm going to bring this the Sand team. I might eventually, but I don't know. I might play a few games of Showdown and play around with it and see how well it does there. But we'll see. But thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate everyone. I will see you on Friday for our longer VGC stream. Yeah, I'm here to help learn you some Pokemans. But anyway, thank you for joining me. I will see you guys next time. Bye.